DJM TV.
National Assembly legislative aides are protesting the non-payment of their salaries. Hey fam, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. This is DJM TV Daily News Update, your one-stop channel for everything news and gist happening in Nigeria and all around the world. If you're new here, this is your first time of seeing any of our videos, a very big welcome to you. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you'll be part of this big family and you'll be one of the first persons to know whenever a new video drops on DJM TV. Now, straight up to the news. The legislative aides of the National Assembly has started a peaceful protest over the non-payment of their salary arrears. The legislative aides were said to have blocked the entrance of the National Assembly, and they accused the clerk of the National Assembly, Olatunde Ojo, of the failure to pay their salary arrears, which dates back to 2019, and also failure to implement the consolidated legislative salary structure and other grievances, which includes minimum wage payment, duty tour allowance, and lack of training and conditions of service. When the protesters saw the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabamila, on his way to the chambers, they quickly blocked the entrance of the National Assembly and started chanting solidarity song. And of course, as expected, the Speaker of the House of Representatives stopped over to listen to the complaints of the protesters. One Mr. Zebis Prince, who represents the South-South geopolitical zone of the legislative aides of the National Assembly, told the Speaker of the House of Representatives that all the legislative aide wants is for the clerk to meet up with their demands. The Speaker of the House of Reps said, "I believe that every laborer should be paid his wages, and we are looking into it. Why these things can be protracted, non-payment of wages of 2019 is inexcusable." He said, "I will just ask that you be patient. We plead for your understanding. We know that there are financial constraints, but one thing I know is that this will be resolved amicably and your arrears will be paid. We appreciate you for bringing these demands to our attention and we will take them accordingly." This is not the first time the legislative aides of the National Assembly are holding a peaceful protest. As a matter of fact, since the inauguration of the 9th Assembly of Nigeria, salary arrears of legislative aides have been withheld by the management of the National Assembly. And this issue has become something that is unbearable, as most of these legislative aides have mouths to feed, they have responsibility, they have bills to pay. And when their salaries are not being paid, then they cannot take care of the responsibilities that are assigned to them. They have also come out to complain about the DTA, which is the duty tour allowance. They said this allowance allows them to travel for trainings, allows them to carry out their basic responsibilities in the National Assembly. But this allowance is not being paid, and as such, they end up doing most of these duties with their personal money, expecting to be paid at the end of the month, but at the end of the day, they do not see their money. One of the leaders of the protesters said that since the inauguration of the 9th Assembly, salary arrears of some legislative aides have been withheld by the management. He said the issue was the subject of a motion moved on the floor of the National Assembly by Bamidele Salam, and the matter was referred to the House Services Committee, headed by Wale Raji, with the mandate to, amongst other things, investigate the irregularities in the payment of legislative aides' salary. And after much denial, the clerk insisted on either the House report or a written authorization from the chairman, National Assembly Service Commission, before he would pay the salary arrears. Fortunately, That report was debated and adopted on the 17th of March 2021, with the House directing the Commission to mandate the clerk to pay the ADs their salary arrears. The protesters further went on to say that we are disturbed that despite the resolution made by the House mandating the clerk to pay the arrears, 3 weeks after this, the Chief Accounting Officer of the National Assembly has chosen to hold the lawmakers and by extension, the whole institution to ransom. Now, like I said, this is not the first of the set of this kind of protest. This protest is coming up barely 24 hours after the National Assembly workers called the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, PASAN, has threatened to commence an indefinite industrial action if the management fails to meet with their demands, which also includes the issue of unpaid salary. Now, we assume that anyone working in the National Assembly of Nigeria should be well taken care of. But this, as we can see, is not the case. In December 2019, a similar protest was held with the same demand, and the National Assembly management has refused to pay them salaries for over 6 months. The management is also said to be shortchanging the few who were paid, in the sense that they were not paid their complete salaries. Also, Mr. Lawan and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Femi, has met with relevant agencies of the government led by Zainab Ahmed, who is the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, to discuss the issue of non-payment of severance allowance for legislative aides who had served in the National Assembly between the year 2015 and 2019. Mr. Lawan had said, it is only fair that we give them what is due to them, referring to the ADs. So we realized that there was need to go bring on board for this discussion the Minister of Finance and the National Assembly Service Commission as well, so that in this meeting we're able to discuss and finalize where the source of the severance allowance for the legislative ADs would be. These were the same sets of legislative ADs who in October 2018 staged a protest at the National Assembly complex to demand their allowances, an act which Mr. Abdulrazak Namdaz described as uncalled for. One issue which is always repeating itself in Nigeria is the fact that workers always protest non-payment of salaries, irrespective of the level where they are, whether in the federal, state, or local government level. Now that brings to mind, is it that the salaries of these men and women are being collected by a certain person or certain persons and being diverted into unnecessary issues, or they do not want these people to be able to take care of their family? These are many questions and what Nigerians are asking the National Assembly, whilst also demanding that the salaries of these legislative ADs be paid. Now, what do you think about the reoccurring event of non-payment of salaries, especially when it comes to the National Assembly? Because it has been an issue since 2015. Well, drop your comment in the comment section. Do not forget to like and share this video. Also, if you're new here, do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Also, follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Check out our website at www.djmtv.news. And also, do not forget, you can also place your advert with us and be rest assured that your business will get to the desired market. Well, until we come your way again with another edition of DJM TV Daily News Update, I remain your host, Lawuru Favor, and saying that a laborer is worthy of his wages.
DJM TV. DJM TV.
People don't say no, they don't like us.
Welcome to DJM TV.
DJM TV. DJM TV. DJM TV. DJM TV.
Some of the delegates and ask them questions.
DJM TV. DJM TV. DJM TV.